did. I won.
He ran. Well, let's kick it off. You guys know what this is all about, Centennial commemoration for the fair, and we've got, frankly, we're getting real good reception from folks willing to sit down and talk. This is probably as large a group as we've tried to do so far. So when we're done, don't everybody just scatter, because I'd like to break it out in families a little bit and get just a few minutes from the families too. But, oh, it is on. Very good. Very good. So I'll shut up and you guys go.
Okay, now don't everybody talk at once.
What are we talking about?
Memories.
Y'all talking about the sled?
Now, one of the things that I remember about when I was, besides these the girls down front here, was back then they had the pop stand sold the pop in bottles. And, you know, there was a deposit on the bottles. Well, people wouldn't bring the bottles back to the pop stand. They'd drink their pop, they'd throw them down out by the tractor pull or out at the horse show or something. So we'd get to, a couple of us guys, we'd get an empty carton. And then we'd get the wooden cases that held 24 bottles. And we'd go out and it'd be like competition, because if this pair saw the bottle and that other pair saw the bottle, it was a race to see who got there first. And you filled up your case, you took it back to the pop stand, and what did we get? A couple of those wax filled bottle things, You bite the wax, you suck the stuff out of it. What? Maybe 10 cents worth of something, But it was kind of a pretty good competition there at times.
I don't think we girls got to do that, did we, Sherri?
I just remember the boys doing it.
Yeah. How did they get to do that? We didn't.
Found something more productive.
We did a lady in the last few days who has mentioned that she and one of her girlfriends was involved in the tractor pull and was at a station and jumped on and off the sled. I didn't realize that was a girls and boys thing too. Who else here has done that?
We all
got to do that.
And Alan's in the picture over there with...
It could be the weight on the tractor pull sled.
The picture over there, Teresa Cheney. Denise.
When she was doing it, I don't remember that.
John was in the one with the
junior high.
Yeah.
We used to play kickball down here all the time.
Oh, yeah.
it was a great afternoon
We
sport.
still play kickball.
Yeah, just this.
We had good softball. We had good softball games until we
hit on the roof.
You remember breaking the window out of the back of the building?
Yeah, before they had it on.
They go bouncing off the roof.
They had the old-fashioned merry-go-round. Remember the tilt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Top, the one you can really get rocking.
You can really get
going.
it spinning. Yeah.
You get sick.
I still think the memories, though, are just that today is the same as it was, 30, 35 years ago for a lot of us, that we just came down here and just ran wild. We didn't have to worry.
Well, like Anthony was talking last night, going back to Cedar Tree.
Oh, yeah, that was like, woo!
You play hide and go seek back in the cedar trees. Now you could just keep going.
And it was spooky. It was spooky back in there.
All the way back over the hill. Herb had a junk pile. Had cars way back on the backside up there. That's a long ways away.
And what I think about that too, amongst other things, is that you guys didn't get here on your own, so your parents brought you. So truthfully, part of what you've got in terms of memories of the fair is from your parents having very similar memories. How's that ring with you guys?
We were noticing from the pictures, and he always has said this, that she wore her very best back to school, new clothes, and dressed up for the fair. That's the opposite of what we were doing.
Yeah, we're down.
So the generations have changed as far as what fashion goes.
And I think Mike's probably been really involved because his parents have been on the fair board a long time. Mom and Dad were in the Grange, but they weren't ever part of the fair board, but they were part of the Grange. So I remember going and walking from the school up to the Grange for the pancake feed in February for Groundhog's Day is when we always did that then, traditionally. And normally I would walk up with Stan. I might stop off and we might play at the Lawson house for a while. But then we'd always end up there to help that. And I remember that part of the Grange.
Well, I can remember, before when the tractor pull used to go where the road is now. Remember when we used to pull the tractors out? Yeah, east and west. And I can remember when, a couple days before the fair, Harry Hicks, welder, and Max would come down with their welders. They'd be welding on that sled, trying to keep that sled together. And the thought never entered your mind that there was a danger there,
Yeah.
that something could happen there. It just didn't enter my mind.
Well,
Anyway.
like you said, as far as the danger and tractor pull, you got, we were giggling about Stanley coming down here with his international, blowing fire out of the end of the stack out there. And he put her like at about third gear down through there. And you got kids 8, 10 years old that are jumping on that sled for weight.
Yeah.
And you would literally jump
And move.
and an older person would grab you because it'd throw you over because they were going by so fast.
Yeah.
And we're really lucky that we didn't have some major injuries.
Yeah, the only things they would watch is the decking in front. They wouldn't let people get in front of that decking.
Yeah.
Anything else.
You had to stay behind. Of course, it might throw you off the back end, but and like I said,
And always the one on the back that would get off, get back on. Remember that? When the tractor's about ready to spin out, you just get off and try to let it go.
let go a little bit more again.
Cheating going on.
Nobody ever saw
Then,
that.
when you signed up to ride the sled, you had to say, well, how much you weigh?
Yeah.
Oh, 135 pounds. Okay. So about halfway through, you get hot, you get tired. Hey, Fred, come over. Would you ride for me? This little guy, about a 48-pound dude, would you ride for me? And he might ride 4 or 5 tractors or something like that.
Did you have to weigh in?
Yeah, we did.
We just
I know you get away.
That's what I was
have to
supposed to
give
do.
them
Because we didn't want to weigh in.
you just told them, well, this is what I weigh.
Yeah,
They just
you
kind
know.
of went with it.
But like I said, it was
Now,
Remember the, does anyone have any memories of the horse show?
yeah, I do.
I've got some, because we rode our horses in them, barrel racing. The barrel racing, like that. But that was a big thing.
Yeah, because that was was that Saturday
that was
afternoon or was that
Saturday. That
Friday?
was Saturday evening, wasn't it? Horse show.
I think so.
Because I remember that I got to hand out ribbons one year.
And then when they went
Oh,
to
man.
there were so many problems with people.
No, I
saying
just
they
got to
were-
hand out. She was a
Yeah,
helper.
stopwatch. They went to the automatic
they had
things,
timers
where the horse ran by, it clicked off. Gosh.
And then they give
And
up.
then we would be out there running like the horses around through the sky. That's what I remember too.
One of the first things I remember when I started coming after we got married was that motorcycle rodeo, and I know
Oh, that
that
was-
was
And
really.
see, that's what brought me to want in it.
Yeah,
'cause
I remember
my parents
that.
weren't so involved, but we loved motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
And when we come down to that, I mean, it was just unbelievable fun. The motocross aspect.
Remember,
Yeah, they drew a lot of
remember
real.
wedding that
The
thing?
hangman deal. The hangman where you have a rider,
Yeah, you'd hang.
you take it around and you drop them off hanging on
How
a tire.
dangerous is that?
And then you go, you go as fast as you could around the arena and come back. Why they just
Right on the road.
They drop right in front of his laps, right in his arms, in front of the handlebars. They drop right up and keep on going.
So people looking at this in 30 years are going to say that this was just 3 days of chaos and
It just about
danger.
was.
But I got to think that there was at least one morning during the fair that it was organized and you folks were under control when Mrs. Gottstein had the
Pet
pet
parade. That was fun.
I remember that.
Dressing your
Turtle race. The turtle race.
yeah, the turtle race. You always want to race a turtle.
Oh, yeah, and the kid races. The kid races. The day of the kid race tug of war. we still had
There was
that.
a lot of
Hubert was always
involvement
out there running
with
that.
our group when we had the kids. I mean, to me, the races were, you went down for those races and you did them.
That was the highlight of the summer.
Yeah. We're
And
And everybody bringing their bikes,
We'd
you
go
know,
play
kids that
ball
rode
when we
bikes.
weren't doing that stuff. We
Of
went
course,
to the
some of us
field.
weren't allowed to bring our bikes.
Yeah, we couldn't ride down the highway.
You guys, we're not taking your bikes.
I don't think my bike ever came down. I don't think so.
I know. See how lucky you guys are.
We used to jump off the stage with our bikes. I've seen Doyle Landis. He was one of the worst crashes ever. He just went. He went home for the day. It was the last we saw of him.
Oh man.
But as
Well,
our
and
families
you know-
too, we didn't see each other over the summer.
No.
So the Vinland Fair was your first real contact with a lot of your friends
Just
too.
before
So
school started.
right before school is a big social thing for, at least for me and my brother.
You know, people have ball teams now that you hang out with people. And the
Yeah.
fair was the way that put you together just before you went back to school. You know?
And you could catch up and do things like that. And I also, though, I remember the people sitting in the big building, just like they do now. And that was like Bernice and Fred Gottstein and Irma Hassenson and
Bob was
I can remember those people. And for me, I remember the older Hassenson. What was his name? Her. I remember her. We would come down and help get it set up, and I was pretty little, 4, 5, or 6, and I got to ride on his big tractor, and he, and it was much bigger than Dad's because it had
706.
Yeah, and I got to, and that was just so neat, for me, and Oaks and Leela Temple, being around with them. So I think that history is what I hope that Alan and Karla's kids will remember from us. And working in the food stands and sweating out there and doing the painting and whatever it might be.
Yeah, some things have changed and some things haven't.
Absolutely.
No. We showed the horse show.
We showed Kat. I got a picture of me at home somewhere that I brought a bull, an old Hereford bull. I was proud of that bull. I was about 14 probably.
Yeah.
Of course, that's when
That's Bucky, right?
That was Bucky.
Yeah.
Of course, he's about the same height. That's back when your
ride
cattle
it.
breeds are this big. Yeah, we jump
We could
up
go
on him.
out into the pasture and get on it.
Uh-huh. And brought him down. I brought a cow and calf too one.
Yeah.
I didn't ever do that.
Now we might be the first generation to fly out of Vinland with the balloon ride. This could be a tradition.
Guys, I think we're down to about 30 seconds on this disc. Can we organize a happy centennial celebration to the Vinland Fair?
Happy Centennial Celebration to the Vinland Fair.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.